Mills allegedly searched for intimate photos on the phone during a church life group meeting. Mills realized the woman saw the photo and reportedly turned white as a ghost and started to apologize, according to the complaint. You wouldn't even think that, okay, I'm just going to give my phone to pastor because he's going to download some audiobook onto my phone so I can listen to it so I can study for the next life class. All of a sudden, you ended up with naked photos of my wife on your phone? Oh my goodness. I read this headline and literally had to leave the studio for 30 minutes and take a break because I've never seen anything like this before in my life. Let me just read this to you. Wisconsin megachurch pastor charged with sending woman's nudes to himself from her husband's phone. Megachurch pastor sent nudes to himself from her husband's phone. From her husband. So he was up in her husband's phone. And then airdropped some pics to himself. This is supposed to be a pastor. Oh my goodness, y'all. What is going on? A former pastor at megachurch in Kenosha, Wisconsin is facing 2 felony counts for allegedly transferring nude photos of a woman to his phone without consent, local police say. Gabe Mills, a former pastor at Journey Church, is accused of sending the nude photos from the phone of the woman's husband to his own phone, according to a criminal complaint filed last week. Mills allegedly searched for intimate photos on the phone during a church life group meeting. During a church life group meeting. So they doing life group, discipling one another, trying to get closer to the Lord. And he's got sex on his mind. He's going through dude's phone looking for naked pictures of his wife and then sends them to himself via airdrop. Police have charged Mills with 2 counts of capturing an intimate representation without consent. If convicted of the felony, the former pastor faces up to $10,000 in fines or up to 3 years and 6 months in prison, according to the complaint. Mills, who's 41, was fired from his role at Journey Church on September 29th. According to the complaint, church leadership was informed of the allegations against the pastor the day before. The church's lead pastor, Kevin Taylor, said in a statement that the news regarding Mills has come at a great shock to our church and school community. Wow. Lead pastor goes on to say that we hold our leaders to the highest standards of moral conduct, and any violation of these values is deeply troubling. We terminated Gabe's employment upon learning of the allegations that led to his arrest, Taylor said. We are committed to transparency and accountability throughout this process and will await further information from the authorities. Taylor noted that the church does not have evidence to suggest students were affected by this situation. Additionally, the church is offering counseling and pastoral care to any of the church members impacted by the situation. The Roy's report reached out to Journey Church for further comment, but did not hear back prior to publication. Mills was previously listed as the guest experience pastor at the church's campus in Kenosha, but his profile on the site has since been removed. It says Mills has repeatedly denied having the photos. Mills allegedly obtained the photos of the victim September 22nd At the life group meeting, Mills borrowed the phone of the woman's husband to download an audiobook, which Mills wanted to share with her husband. About 10 minutes later, the victim found Mills holding the phone close to his chest so it could not be seen, the complaint said. While the woman talked with Mills, he lowered the phone to his side. The woman then saw on the phone a picture of herself in undergarments, where she was bent over at the waist, posed for the camera. She recognized the photo as one she had taken and sent only to her husband months prior. According to the complaint, she then became furious and concerned as to what else Mills could have on his phone. She reportedly had sent her husband other intimate photos on previous occasions. She then tapped on Mills' phone and it lit up to show the photo again. Mills realized the woman saw the photo and reportedly turned white as a ghost and started to apologize, according to the complaint. Mills pleaded with the woman not to tell Mills' wife. He then blocked her exit from the room and told her the images was of his wife, not her, the complaint reported. The woman knew that was a lie as she recognized herself and the background of the photo. The woman and her family left the life group, and Mills followed them to their car. He allegedly told them how embarrassed he was and how sorry he was about the incident, according to the complaint. When the woman talked with her husband about what happened, the husband recalled that Mills had his phone for a, quote, really long time. The husband later confronted Mills by text, and Mills denied having the photo. The husband, who is an employee at the Racine Police Department, asked his colleagues to examine his phone for potential evidence of what happened. Racine Police Department found that the husband's text messages had been accessed and airdropped. An airdrop had been used during the time frame of the incident, according to the complaint. The woman and her husband then filed a complaint with the Kenosha Police Department. Wow. Kenosha police issued a search warrant for Mills's phone and discovered that Mills had used airdrop on his phone at the time of the alleged incident. Additionally, police found 2 inappropriate nude photos on Mills's phone, which the victim verified were of her. Neither of the photos were the original ones she saw on Mills' phone. Wow. So he had other photos too. The victim and her family are members of Journey Church. The megachurch belongs to the Assemblies of God, according to its website. What is that? Other victims at the church may have been victimized, police said in a statement. Mills is currently out of jail on a $7,500 bond, according to court records. He's set to appear in court on October 9th. Wow. So they're at a life group. The pastor says, hey, I want to download an audiobook onto your phone. I'm assuming it's for the purpose of the life group. The pastor has the phone for like 10 minutes. And then the dude's wife, whose phone Mills has, approaches Mills, and the pastor clutches the phone close to his chest. And then he tries to move the phone down to his waist, at which point the wife recognizes herself on the phone and recognizes that it's a photo, an intimate photo that she had sent only to her husband. That's when the pastor instantly turns white as a ghost and starts apologizing, and then proceeds to say, "Please don't tell my wife." I think one of the craziest parts, I mean, the whole story is crazy. The whole story is crazy. But the individual's phone who the pastor had worked at the police department. I don't know what role he had at the police department, but he was able to have the police investigate and look through his phone and verify that AirDrop was used at the time of the incident. And then they go back through his phone and they find additional photos that were supposed to only be sent to her husband's phone, but now the pastor is in possession of those photos on his personal phone. What in the world is going on? That's probably one of the scariest traumatic experiences that I have heard as it relates to a church and a pastor. And I know there's been worse stuff, obviously. Like, pastors have actually physically essayed people. I get it. I'm just saying, like, yo, you would not even think you wouldn't even think that, okay, I'm just going to give my phone to pastor because he's going to download some audiobook onto my phone so I can listen to it so I can study for the next life class. All of a sudden, you ended up with naked photos of my wife on your phone? So you were going through my phone. You went through my phone. So did you have my phone to actually put the audiobook onto my phone, or did you always have this plot in your mind to get my phone so you could go through the photos so you could try to get some photos of my wife? And this is supposed to be a leader at the church. I get it. I understand why people outside the church, why non-Christians, why non-believers don't trust the church. I get it, because this is some crazy twisted work. It truly is. I get it. But furthermore, this is a prime example as to exactly why you cannot trust human beings. I'm sorry. You can't. You can't. Because no matter what position they have, they will let you down. It's inevitable. It might not be at this magnitude, but they definitely will let you down at some point in time. And this pastor was a terrible representation of Jesus Christ. And I hope and I pray that the individuals involved in this situation can recognize that and recognize that, yo, this is even more reason why you need to get close to Jesus and put him at the center of every relationship. Don't worship your pastor. Don't worship a person that says they're a man of God or a woman of God. No. Go to God himself. Know the character of God himself, because this is not a representation of the character of God whatsoever. This is a representation of sin in the world, of being so overcome by your lust that you will literally seize upon a moment to satisfy your flesh in a small group setting just because your sin and your temptation has consumed you to that point that you've completely lost sight of God in that moment, right? That is a crazy situation. That is a crazy situation. Man, oh man. Let me know what y'all think. Get in my comments, like this video. I'm out, y'all.